Welcome to the Barstool College Football Show presented by FTX, the world's most popular mobile app for cryptocurrency tracking and trading. Fellas, we made it back. Week 1, we have fans back. We're going live on the road again.
Yes.
We got through 2020. I mean, you guys have to high five, right?
Yes.
How are we feeling?
I'm excited. I mean, the week 1 card is amazing, and I can't even remember whether that's just because we had the shortened cards and so many cancellations with COVID, but, you know, football's back. I'm excited.
Dave went, when he came to the office today, I said to him, I have 25 plays, and he kind of laughed, that's a lot. And then he went into his phone booth and came out as Superman with 45 plays.
Yeah,
Wow.
45 plays. This week.
Between Thursday and Monday, or just because you
yeah.
love the Saturday board?
I love all the
It's
boards.
5 days of football.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
5 days of good football,
It
too.
is.
There's 12 games Thursday. Like 10
Meaningful
games.
football.
So do you think that's because we forgot what a full, or is this unusually
Yeah.
good?
This is unusually good because we got many more conference games this week. The Big
Yeah.
Ten usually
But
doesn't
it-
start with these big-time conference games.
But it is also because last year we were so sad all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't
It's
start
a
till
mixture.
September 26th
Yeah,
last year. We
yeah.
had 3 openings last year.
Clemson, Georgia, Miami, Bama, Wisconsin, Penn State.
I feel like
There's
Labor
some,
Day,
big games.
there's generally like 2 or 3 big games. Like
Right.
I remember like a Florida State, Miami, but I feel like Labor Day always has a couple big games.
But there are a lot more this
Alabama
year.
usually opens with somebody pretty good.
Yeah, I think Michigan played one, got probably smoked.
Right, they played Wisconsin one year, they played Florida State, but this one is really good.
Yeah, and this year we're on the Barstool Sportsbook app. Obviously, Dave, I know you already had a bad beat in college football last year with Nebraska, or last week with Nebraska.
Week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was brutal.
College kickers
It was
again.
52.5 was the total, and they missed an extra. They scored on 4th down.
They didn't even know it was 4th down.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were at the weigh-in for the
Right.
fight.
They didn't know it was 4th down. It was weird.
I understand that, Brandon.
Yeah, it was weird.
But
I don't know if you
No,
saw
they
it.
didn't know
You
it
should
was
have seen
first down.
They didn't know it was
They
4th down.
No, they didn't know it was first down.
They had no idea what down it was. It's crazy.
So we were watching it on the Score app, and we were in a weird area with service, so you couldn't tell. Like the extra points just never showed up, and tough way to lose. Tough. I mean, that's as bad as you'll get all season, really.
Week 0.
Kind of forgetting that was credit to me. I had under 55. Dave had over 52.5, and I rooted for him to get a touchdown so we
yeah.
could both win.
It was
I
still
forgot
a
to
good,
big
root
man
for the
move.
extra
It was
point.
still a
Yeah.
good week. I was 5-2 in the Pick'em podcast parlay. Won plus 625. So it was a good week overall. But those are the games later in the season you need back. Like,
Do you think that you will retire this college football season? Usually about halfway through you start talking about it.
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, but
you have
let's
an
not
over-under on, no, we're not talking about
How
it?
do you feel about Michigan coming in?
Oh, we're going to go right into
Shitty.
that.
Well, they were dead to you last year. I just
They're still dead.
They start
Oh, they're still
over is
dead.
what
No,
I'm
no,
asking.
no.
Okay.
No.
We're going to be there. Should we say we're going to be there? Can we say we're going to be
I
Yeah.
think on this show we're
Yeah,
saying that.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them, but they suck.
Yeah, we'll be there week 2, Michigan versus Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how can you have any confidence in anything they're doing? I don't.
What would win you back?
I
Beating
think
Ohio
I've
State?
said they got to beat Ohio State.
Ev, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel weird because I feel like even last year Dave had sold himself on Joe Milton. He came in at least being optimistic. This
Milton's
year,
tough.
he's pessimistic, which almost makes me. It's like a little reverse psychology thing going.
Well, how many times can you stick your hand in the mouse trap? I mean, they've been bad now for a long ass time.
I think it's all also gearing up for Wisconsin to end the Harbaugh era for like the 7th year in a row.
That
always because that's going to happen. They go to Camp Randall. Wisconsin plays man football. Michigan has Jordans. Like they do. They're like the fancy school.
Game, Wisconsin was probably the low point when they were running for like 70 yards. I don't know. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong, but they've been so. It's a basketball school.
But is this the first
Very good
season
one.
you've started this pessimistic, you think, in a long time? 'Cause
I'm
usually
not
you kill
even
'em, like, week
pessimistic.
2 or 3.
Well, yeah, usually they're my number 1 in my top 10. But I'm realistic. They're horrible.
Casey, you think your team's going to win the national championship?
Well, we'll get to that in a little bit.
could.
How about that? Yeah.
That's Elio's 40-1 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Go ahead.
not a crazy thing
He
to say.
keeps asking me to sell merch with straight A&M logos on it.
Who does?
Elio,
Why?
because he
Well, I know he loves A&M. He's been tagging me and all that, but like,
well,
why?
his pick is 41 A&M to
Yes,
win.
I saw that.
So
He's been wearing a helmet.
We should
and
make
stuff.
him like
he gets behind
we
it,
should
but
cre-
he keeps sending me just merch, and it's just straight Texas.
Yeah.
It's like Texas A&M logo 41.
that.
It was like, you can't use their logo. Just come back with a new version with their logo.
We should create an LLC and let him just make
Yes.
it under the
Yeah.
LLC and then just send all the lawsuits to him.
Before we get to the weekend preview, should I be nervous that he's on my side with this? The Elio's
Well,
on
you've
the team?
never won before in your life.
Well,
so
no, but I
wouldn't-
mean,
you
if
can't
he-
change
No,
that.
But he might be good luck.
Oh, nervous good?
Like I'm saying, like if he thinks A&M's going to win the national championship, should I have more confidence or
More
less
confidence. His
more confidence?
futures are good.
His futures are pretty fucking good.
Okay, so I have
Yeah.
more confidence then.
Yeah. I thought you meant nervous, like he was going to jinx them.
I just either way, I didn't
No,
know.
Well,
his
you
futures are
can't jinx a team that's never won.
Well, they won in 1939.
Well, that's what I
True.
mean.
19.
By the way, can we just clear that? Do you want to apologize for that?
I'm not apologizing.
The company itself.
Yes. Okay. Here's the thing.
Casey,
I will
the
apologize.
company
listen,
DM me
hey,
and said
let me
it-
Talk.
Well, they list.
intent-
What's going
listen to me.
on?
They
Listen to
list
me.
the schools.
going on?
Listen to me.
The schools.
There's a
Listen,
shirt that she
listen.
I
doesn't.
showed her. I showed you.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I
They
will-
went back to
I-
the company that made the shirt. The shirt, there's an A&M
listen
shirt.
to
It
the
says
podcast.
Texas A&M shirt. You go to the other one, it doesn't say school.
I DM'd the
here's-
CEO of the
here's-
company.
It's
here's the
definitely
thing.
not.
Here's the thing. I will apologize that the intent was not there. But if you send somebody who does college football content, a state of Texas with red and black, I'm going to think it's Texas.
I got Tech
Yeah, but it
fans
was
in my DM
flannel.
saying it's not Texas.
Well, then what does that
flannel.
matter?
Well,
What
wait,
is
that's
Texas?
like a
The
Texas.
actual company.
I know the intent behind it, but you can understand why it would be
They said
perceived that
that's
way.
not
Half
a
the
Texas
people-
Tech shirt.
Half the people on Twitter were like,
No,
"This
it's
is a
flannel.
Texas Tech shirt."
It's an Al Borland Texas fan.
Why would A&M have, or why would Texas have any flannel to do with it?
Women
Because
love
flannel's
flannel.
just
Okay,
like
I have a
thing.
question. If it
It's a
was
lifestyle
if,
shirt.
if it was
Yeah.
a maroon and white flannel, would you think it was an A&M
But it
shirt?
wasn't.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it's a red and black, so I would.
No,
That's
but
like
red
the
and black
number
is
one
the
flannel.
core flannel color.
Right.
But red and black is also Texas Tech.
But it's more flannel than it is Texas Tech.
The company
flannel
answered
better.
the question.
The intent, I will apologize for. It can still be perceived as a
can't
Texas Tech shirt.
continue to
I mean,
have
I
the
want-
point
I-
if the
it
company
is.
said
If I
no.
looked at it and other people in the office looked at it, PFT, Jeff D'Lo, everyone who's been
Telling
in
you,
Texas.
the company CEO said no.
I just said the intent.
I didn't see. And when
yes.
I was reading the Twitter below, it
I mean,
was
I
like
could read you a whole bunch of 'em.
9% saying they had no idea.
a bunch of them say that.
Let's read some fucking deals.
I'll read some tweets right now.
I mean, Dave showed it to me, and I said,
Showed
first
it
thing
to
out of my
everybody
mouth
else.
I'll
was,
read
"That's a
some
sick
tweets.
shirt." And then he said, "Do you know what it means?" I said, "No idea."
I understand.
And I coached at Texas
I
Tech.
just
You did.
want to clarify that the company selling the shirt
Yes,
lists when
again,
it's a school shirt.
the-
It was
the
not
intent.
listed as a school
It's a
shirt.
flannel
If
shirt.
you ever lived in Texas, it's clearly a generic Texas Tech shirt. Every store sells stuff like this: a burnt orange and white version, a maroon and white version, a purple and
burnt
white version.
orange
all
and white,
generic,
you know,
but
but
obvious what they
flannel-
stand
Maroon
for.
or flannel's
Flannel.
a different ballgame.
It's flannel.
Lumberjack.
Flannel
what
is
does-
a thing.
But what does flannel have to do with Texas?
Flannel's just a thing.
Flannel's just a thing that women
It's
like
a
to
thing.
wear.
Flannel is
And
Anybody likes to wear
guys.
it. Anybody likes to
flannel.
wear
wear it too.
The flannel is more. What is it? Ubiquitous? Is that the word?
Yes, ubiquitous.
Well, flannel is more ubiquitous than Texas Tech.
100%.
It's do you know what it means? Because I don't.
I was going to say
Ubiquitous.
universal. Like
Yeah, there we go. I was looking
It's
for
saying
that.
we can't say Texas Tech, but we're implying Texas Tech. There are a lot of that because
here
it's red and
somewhere. I get a
black.
lot of
What do you mean
DMs.
you can't say Texas Tech? They say Texas A&M when it's A&M. It
Also,
says it on the website.
If it were Texas Tech, the initials would have been TT, not TX.
But
See,
you're,
that's Texas Tech.
you're backing off your thing, which is originally
No, I
like
apologize
everybody
for that.
in Texas would think, no, that's Texas
Well,
Tech.
everybody
That-
in the office that has ever lived in the state of Texas immediately said Texas Tech. That is a fact.
I would like to see how you asked them.
I held it up to
Yeah, you
PFT,
did
your
read it.
your podcast co-host. I held it up and I said, "What does this look like?" He said, "It looks like a shitty Texas Tech shirt."
It's bad
I
eyes.
swear.
the fundamental issue we have is you just overestimate how different Texas things. Like that is not a Texas Tech shirt.
Well,
Like
the
I'm
intent
very
was not,
aware
no.
of like,
The colors are Texas Tech.
but
It's
I'm
in
very
the state
aware of
Texas.
Texas dynamics of football, and like I'm like, oh, because it's on your desk. I'm like, is that an A&M? Because it would be cool if it actually was the A&M colors, and everybody would know.
If A&M or Texas, if
Correct.
it was burnt orange and white, but it would still be
flannel.
flannel. Yes.
Plaid. It's a plaid.
Is flannel
Right.
not the word?
Flannel, plaid, either way.
No, but it's
The intent-
yeah,
I will
it could be any
apologize
color,
for-
but that's the core number one flannel
I will
color
say,
combo.
Yeah.
no offense to the guy who made it, major miss. Like instead of making just like a subpar Texas Tech shirt, he made an airport shirt. You buy that at an airport.
Yeah.
You buy that at DFW.
We're talking
Flannel
about
shirt.
Wait, what?
Like he could have said it was a Texas Tech shirt and it would have been like, okay, like people,
Oh,
but like instead it just looks like something you buy at DFW.
Well, according to you, no. In Texas,
I just said
everybody-
now he has confirmed.
Retracted.
This was a
He
good
is-
use of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
Well, the
Brandon,
show's
you
back.
brought it up.
Yeah.
The show's
I
back, and I mean,
you brought it up.
I just thought I tried to set it off on the right, be like, yeah, it was wrong.
I was
about
wrong
that.
about the
But
intent.
you did
I
not.
was
You
wrong about the
argued
intent.
to the death.
Well, yeah, because I still believe it can be perceived as a Texas
You
Tech
just
shirt.
still won't say that you were wrong.
I
say
just said I was wrong about the
honestly
intent.
not
I
that
was
hard.
wrong
Adding
about,
about
the
the
intent.
intent. You were wrong.
It still can be perceived as a Texas Tech shirt.
Well, anything can be perceived by anybody.
That's true. That's a good
If it was the state of Michigan and it was blue and yellow flannel plaid, which is also a big
I
plaid,
think it's maize and blue, but it's okay.
Yeah, someone could perceive that as that's a slight because it's blue and yellow and not maize and blue. Thank you, Brandon.
I like your Ravens shirt, Dave.
Thank you, Dan.
I mean, you could perceive it as anything. It's
Anybody
fine,
can
yeah.
perceive if
Right.
that is going to be your answer when you're dead wrong. Well, somebody
I'm not dead
somewhere.
wrong. I'm not. If I was the only person saying that it looked like a Texas Tech shirt, I would say I was dead wrong. I'm not.
The original was you're like that's a Texas Tech shirt.
Did you present the people with the
No.
DM from the company
Oh my God,
saying,
no.
"Oh, it's not a Texas Tech shirt"?
I just held it up.
They don't have that
just like
information.
Dave held it up to me in the middle of lowering the bar.
Yeah, but you were like, you idiot, that's a Texas Tech shirt.
I didn't say you idiot. I didn't call
You were
you
like,
idiot.
that's a Texas Tech
I
shirt.
did say
I'm like,
that.
I don't
and
think
I was
so.
wrong that the intent was
Okay.
there. It's still being perceived as.
Why'd you call Dave an idiot?
What?
I like Houston against Texas Tech.
Okay.
Plus
Should we get to the
1.5.
weekend
Also
preview?
red.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're away
Oh,
from the
that's
shirt.
good.
The
Don't
shirt.
do that.
Can we kill the shirt?
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
aggravating. Just know that we're gonna get no apologies on this show for being wrong.
I'm sorry that I
mean-
misunderstood the intent.
Just
Let's go to the Sling Weekend preview. If you love.
She's not going
If
to.
you love watching live sports but you're tired of paying high prices, it's time to take control of your TV experience and get Sling. Live TV starting at $35 and only $10 per your first month. And starting right now, Sling gives you access to new Barstool Sports channel exclusively on Sling. Dave.
Yeah, so I mean, Brand Walker.
Yes.
You got the first exclusive show coming on. You're not gonna be able to see it anywhere else. When does it air?
The Brandon Walker College Football Show. It started last night, but
Is that a competitive show?
every Monday through Thursday. No.
Brand Walker College
It's an
Football
addendum.
Show.
It helps.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
the
a sister
Barstool
show.
College Football
It's a
Show.
sister
Brandon
show.
Walker
All right, good,
College
good, good,
Football
good.
Show.
Yeah.
By the
All right.
time people are watching this, it will have already
I'm gonna
aired.
have to get
Yeah.
Sling just to see this show.
But every Monday through Thursday.
Wait, we're competing against that show?
That's what. When does it air?
Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, daily.
Call in, yes.
Okay, good.
Well, not Fridays.
Oh,
I'll
so
be
you're like
traveling.
Feinbaum.
It's yeah.
Better looking
Fine.
Feinbaum.
Okay, got it.
Better
All right,
looking
I like
Feinbaum.
it. And then obviously Sling, if you got the big cable bills, all the new age kids, you can cut it. There's college football throughout, so sling.com/Barstool. Sign up now. First month, just $10.
Oh, and
For
call in.
$10.
Call in.
Call in. I'm excited to watch you.
I
do
hope
a
you get
call-in
some
show.
serious trolls.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
I'm
I mean,
going to.
Dan's already said he's
I
gonna
will
be
be
a
calling
regular
in.
caller.
Yep,
A regular
absolutely.
caller. All right, let's get to the first game of the weekend. Number 23, Louisiana at number 21, Texas. Texas right now favored by 8.5. The total.
Can we agree not to call them Louisiana?
Well, what the hell?
They
They're
wanna be-
called Louisiana?
they,
We
like,
call
wanna
them
be-
UL Lafayette.
Well, I want to, but then like people get pissed because
I actually thought that we were talking about LSU for a second.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
it's
what the
it's ULA.
No, we're
but-
not calling them
Okay, so
Louisiana.
it's
We're calling them ULL or whatever they are.
Louisiana Lafayette.
The Raging Cajuns.
We're not
Raging
calling
Cajuns.
them Louisiana.
Well, that's what they want to be.
UL
Well,
Lafayette.
if go beat LSU
Okay.
for like
A name game.
yeah.
Okay.
And then we
Well,
can talk about
But
calling
LSU
you
is Louisiana State.
But so I was like, where's the state? I didn't look
Okay.
at the rest.
You thought
When you
Bobby
say,
flipped it out,
if
okay.
you're talking college football and you say Louisiana, it's LSU.
I agree.
So let's
Okay.
drop whatever they
Okay, so Louisiana Lafayette at Texas. Texas right now favored by 8.5. The total set at 58. Of course, Louisiana Lafayette, very good last year, knocked off Iowa State.
the
Texas
shit out of
beat
them.
the shit out of them. And then Texas starting over with Sarkisian. They've got Hudson Card at quarterback. Dave, I'll start with you.
Yeah, well, I love the name, and I love how Texas always has great names for quarterbacks. Hudson Card is a great name. I think I'm going to use a college basketball analogy here.
Okay.
ULNL, UL, the Raging Cajuns, whatever. When you like pop an upset in the tournament, everyone's like buzz team, buzz team, buzz team. They don't do it again. I think people are too high on them. I'm not going to say Texas is back or great or anything, but I think the buzz is on the wrong side. I'm going to take Texas in the first game for Sarkisian to win fairly easily.
And Dan, we know that like nearly all of Louisiana Lafayette's roster is coming back, like 95%. Billy Napier has turned down big jobs for this. Do you have the same feeling as Dave, though?
I do. I think I looked at it. I always like to look at the board and do kind of like a gut reaction and then kind of reassess. And my gut reaction was like, whoa, that's easy. 8.5 points? Holy shit. Louisiana Lafayette is going to kill Texas. Texas minus 8.5. I think everyone's like, it's the cute pick. It's the cute pick of the weekend.
That's fine. I'll walk into the trap because ULL is a better football team than Texas. We all get this amnesia about Texas every single year. They were so fucking bad last year, they fired their coach. They lost the leader at quarterback they had for 3 years. They couldn't win anything with him. Now we have a freshman making his first start. He's never thrown a meaningful football in college. You got a new coach. You got everything. And you got a team that beat Iowa State 31-14 last year. We just put 21 beside Texas because they're Texas. They didn't earn it. ULL is going to cover the 8.5. They're going to win the football game.
I agree with you, Brandon. And also, like, growing up, when you would see, like, these, like, smaller schools, you'd be like, yeah, that's a cakewalk. But, like, ULL is actually a good football team now. So it's not a cakewalk for Texas. I'm actually going to pick ULL money line on this because I agree with you.
Ooh.
Yeah,
what I said.
am. I know.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Say money line.
You didn't say money line.
Change the reputation.
I mean,
Okay,
I knew
well,
you
give
would
me
like
plus
that.
8.5.
Casey
She can have
Chalk Smith going with a money.
I'm taking
big money. All right.
I'm taking Louisiana money line, and it's not. I know Texas fans are going to think it's because I'm an Aggie. It's not. I just think ULL is a better football team. And
It's also,
I also have
kind
a
of because you're an Aggie, right?
no. I have a trivia question for you, since you're like a savant. Who is the last head coach at Texas to win their first ranked matchup?
Oh, God.
Mac Brown.
No.
Was it Charlie Strong?
No.
Beating,
Someone tweeted the stat today. I saw it because the
see it?
last 6
Who
have
was the
all
coach
lost.
at?
Was it Roy
Mac
Val?
Brown?
Was it Roy Val? It was the one before him. I can literally picture the list.
Who
I
was
looked
it?
at it this morning.
Fred Akers.
Fred Akers, of course, Fred
Yeah.
Akers.
It's
I think
been
the
that
la-
long since a head coach at Texas has won their first ranked matchup.
Literally
So-
the last 6.
Was that the 70s?
Huh? Yeah, 70s and 80s. So Sark has a big thing cut out for him. So any other picks on that? Touching the total at all? Anyone?
No.
No? All right. Let's go to number 17, Indiana, at number 18, Iowa. Iowa is favored by 3.5. The total at 45. It's in Kinnick Stadium. Brandon, I'm going to start with you on this one because you hate Iowa so much.
Hate them.
You hate them.
They're one of my most hated teams in the country, but I recognize good football. They're going to show up. They're going to go 9-3. They're going to have a quarterback who's not very sexy, doesn't do much, good running back, good offensive line. But this is about Indiana. I don't believe in them. I didn't believe in them last year. They were a fraud top 10 team. They didn't beat anybody. Their best win was actually not getting blown out by Ohio State, and they're going to show up. All this hype, and they're going to get drilled at Iowa. They're not ready. Michael Penix is fine, but he's not great. Iowa minus 3.5.
How about all the people that were saying Michael Penix is a top 5 quarterback?
Well, they're lying because he had 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions last year. He was fine. He got hurt. When he got hurt, they got bad, and that made him look better than he really is. He was okay, but they really didn't win anything last year. They just didn't lose.
Yeah, they both had good seasons, but Dan, Indiana has like all the buzz like Minnesota had the year before. What do you think?
Indiana, I mean, nice people. I love Indiana. I love Bloomington. Last year was an aberration. They got all the bounces in a COVID year, starting with that game against Penn State. They got all the bounces throughout the entire year. Everyone in Indiana thinks that they are now like arrived or ready to go. I just think Iowa's more consistent. Iowa finished the season better than Indiana. I think they won their last 6 games.
Yeah.
And they're returning a bunch of guys. So I'm going to take Iowa, and I also will take the under. 2 good defenses.
Dave, what do you think?
I agree with most of what those guys say, and there's 2 schools. I don't know how anyone can hate Iowa. That's still one of the best experiences we've had. When you go on the train that they got going. And
Well, I have a history with them, Dave.
And the
I know you
waving,
do.
The waving at the kids.
your history is they beat you in a meaningless bowl game, right?
Correct.
Well, they also tried to get him fired or
They
something.
tried to get me fired from my job, tried to get my wife fired from her job just because I was mean about the
Here?
football team. No. About 2 years ago before you found me.
From my bookie.
No, I was doing other things.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a tough job.
Making a good living in Mississippi.
Good, honest living.
Eating at Applebee's every
working
every
for
weekend. I'm
illegal
fine.
offshore gambling things run.
I
by
only had that
criminals.
for 6 weeks.
But I agree with everything. I actually think Indiana will be okay. I like the head coach.
They're going to be okay. Let me just
But-
say, they're going to win like 7 games, which is good for
not
Indiana.
bad.
Yeah.
They're not bad, but
Right.
I think there's a feeling that like, oh, last year they were a lot more competitive with Ohio State than they were, which I watched that game. And this feeling that Indiana is now like officially arrived. It's not.
Yeah, they beat Penn State, who was bad last year. Michigan was bad every
Wisconsin
year.
was bad
so
last year.
So it's like you're beating teams that are traditionally good but stink. This, for me, is not an indictment on Indiana because I still think they could have a good year, but
Correct.
I always take Iowa at home. I think Iowa can play with anybody at home. What you said about the 9-3, not flashy, run them football, almost at times frustrating to gamble because they can control the game and not put up a ton of points and like struggle in the red zone a little bit. One of those situations, but I always take Iowa at home, and I'll do it here.
I would hate to open the season at Iowa. That's a tough place to play anyway, but the first game of the season, that's going to be rough.
It's not tricky to play there, though?
No, Iowa's tough, I would say.
Okay.
Iowa at night is
Yes.
very
It's very tough.
Ev, what do you think? I know that the Ohio State-Indiana game was talked about a lot last year.
No, I agree with the sentiment. I think the under is probably a good play. It's 2 of the best defenses coming back Indiana's bringing back 10 starters on defense. Iowa's the number 4th defense in the country last year. They're bringing back 7. So I'll like the under, but I'm not going to bet against Iowa at home also.
I'm also going to take Iowa. Michael Penix for Indiana has been hurt every year. He tore his ACL again last year, so I'm going to go with you guys. Iowa -3.5. Let's go to another Big Ten game. Dan, I know you're excited about this one. Number 19, Penn State at number 12, Wisconsin. Wisconsin right now favored by 5.5. The total 50.5, which I feel is high.
That is
I feel
high.
like a very high. It is at Camp Randall. It's a 12 o'clock game. We all love Madison. How are you feeling about Wisconsin?
I feel good about Wisconsin this year. I actually do think they're going to be a very good team. Last year was the all-time snake-bitten, injuries, COVID, everything that went wrong. I think they're going to, their defense can be very good. And I think Graham Mertz is going to be a lot better than he showed at the end of last year when he got, he had that game against Illinois. He started well against Michigan. He got hurt. Then he got COVID. And kind of the wheels fell off. So
My grandmother could play well against Michigan.
Yeah, true. Good point. But I think Wisconsin is going to get back on track this year. Also, Wisconsin's a team kind of similar to Iowa that losing spring like they did last year is very important for a program like Wisconsin, where it's not about 5 stars and 4 stars. It's about developing guys.
Right.
So losing that development and then getting the COVID shutdown during it, losing development with your quarterback, I think that's like, if you basically say Wisconsin can't practice, can't get these guys, up to their ceiling in terms of ability, they suffer. So I think this year we'll get back to normal.
And Graham Mertz had all the Heisman hype, like you said, the game one.
Probably
and
mostly because of me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
right.
That's
No,
fair. But by the end of the season, I feel like people were almost like discrediting him too much. He didn't play for the majority of the season because of COVID.
No, he was bad in some of those games, and we lost some wide receivers. We couldn't run the ball. The offensive line was bad, which they'll be a lot better. So I just think last year sucked, but I think Wisconsin will get back to be consistent. I'm not saying they're going to win the Big Ten. I think that they will. The game against Iowa will be a slugfest. They're going to have a tough game against Notre Dame. But 9-10 wins is going to be Wisconsin this year.
They get to host all their tough.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
Brandon, your
Yeah,
thoughts?
so I think the under is the play here. I'm staying away from the sides because Penn State's got a bad quarterback. Sean Clifford lost the job last year and
New
gained it
offensive
back.
coordinator, too.
Yeah.
Gained it back over the offseason. New offensive coordinator. Wisconsin's not about Graham Mertz to me. It's about everything else. Like the offensive line was uncharacteristically not as good last year. Jalen Berger rushed for 3.9 yards a carry. They had 165 yards a game rushing. I know the quarterback would help that, but he didn't have any receivers. They got a long way to go offensively around him.
And we have a 4-star from Clemson who transferred, who I think is actually going to be the starter, Ches something. Ches,
What a
I
name,
believe is his
Ches.
name.
So the Wisconsin-
4-star from Clemson. So.
But what's not a question on Wisconsin is their defense. It will be one of the best defenses in the country. Gave up 17 points a game last year. Sean Clifford's not a good quarterback. Under is the play.
What's his name?
Chez Malusi.
There we go. I was
Good name.
that was definitely
That's it.
close
Ches
enough. I had
Malusi.
Enough? Yeah, got it.
Masul and Malusi is very
Close.
And Ches is the important
It's the
part.
same. It's a word jumble.
Ches.
You should just go by Ches. Just
When I
like share.
when I was like reading over and getting ready for the season, it's like, oh fuck, we have a 4-star from Clemson. I don't know. That's kind
Jalen
of
Berger's good too.
he is
Yeah,
good,
he's very
but
good.
Ches is named the starter. So
Dave, Penn State was terrible last year to start. They went 0-5. Do you think they're going to bounce back this year?
I do. I still like the coach that they have there. I don't have their recruiting sheets out on me, but I kind of it's just if it's horse racing, you put a line through it. Like last year, COVID, it's just a strange freaking year. And what's the guy's name there, the coach?
James Franklin.
Franklin, I think he recruits. I think he's a recruiter who he may do some nefarious stuff, but they don't care about that Penn State. I think he has guys, it's a cool place to actually go play football. I think this game goes down to the wire. I think Penn State will be, I just think with James Franklin, Penn State's going to be perennially pretty good in the Big Ten. I like the points. I think that's a decent amount of points. I think this is a fourth quarter game, goes down to the end. So I'm going to take Penn State.
I'm going to take Wisconsin. Dan, I love Madison. I'm very sad that I never get to go back. Can we please go back soon?
yeah, I actually
Legalize
Go back
gambling.
whenever you want.
legalized gambling, and
Yes.
we'll be there. I remember I was at the Penn State-Wisconsin game. I can't remember what year it was when Joe Pa got run over on the sideline, and they had to cart him off, and we all chanted, "Shoot him like a horse." This was before we knew that he knew.
That's a long chant.
Yeah, shoot him like a horse. Shoot him like a horse. But I'd like to say that, that actually aged well.
It did age well.
Yeah.
It did, all things considered.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Definitely.
Not where they still, in Happy Valley, half the people there still think he's...
Yeah,
There's still
nothing.
pictures of him all
But
over.
it is funny because, I remember when Durant blew his Achilles, and then the Raptors fans cheered, and everyone's like, "That's disgusting." It's
Yeah.
like, I remember chanting "shoot him like a horse."
And they were probably extremely upset about it.
Yeah.
But
No one was mad because
No,
Twitter didn't
like-
exist.
oh,
Yeah.
well, I guess that's
yeah,
true.
like
Like-
nothing. That happened.
When we
Actually,
were-
multiple times.
When we were at Penn State a few years ago, the pizza place we went and ate, wasn't there like phone number still like Joe Pa?
Yeah.
Like 1-800 Joe Pa
yeah,
or something?
It was.
Or we went and ate breakfast. There was still a big picture of him upstairs.
In a weird way, horrific shit. Kind of respect like college football culture. Like if Saban can do anything he wants, Alabama, he could do anything.
Oh, it's all a
Alabama's
cult.
not turning on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like Joe Pa didn't actually.
That is how college football should be.
like crazy.
Not
crazy
doing that,
things.
but it should be
Yeah.
cultish.
Cra- crazy
I will follow
things,
you no matter
yes.
what you
Correct.
do.
You
yes.
guys make fun of me for being in a cult at A&M, and you.
Well, you are.
That's a weird cult.
Yeah,
that's
that's
not
not
because
like
they
a-
win.
You guys notice
You guys
I'm wearing
grab each other's
I'm wearing
balls
my-
and
No,
stuff.
we
That's
don't.
not. That has
See
nothing to do with
pictures.
the performance of your team on the field.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the school itself.
right.
Grab each other's
Like
balls.
They
That's
do not.
You guys are in a cult where like you don't even get to drink the Kool-Aid and jump on the asteroid that flies by.
We're just
Like
already
Joe
on
Pa-
it.
Yeah, no, you just
Like
you
Joe
just
Pa
sit
was-
around and like are weird and there's no end.
Yeah, like Joe Pa,
Yeah.
they won national championships. They're in big games. Alabama, like you guys,
walked right into this.
you guys are just weird.
Yeah, you just like hanging out
Being-
in a
yeah,
fucking
like-
compound. Like,
But
well, what do we do
all
now?
cults
They
are
all
weird.
cheerleaders in milkman suits.
All-
No. Winning, like I'm in like a Belichick cult. Like whatever he like that. Winning creates the cult.
So if A&M is like if they were to win, they'd be a cool cult.
But the cult existed
It would
before
help.
the winning, but it would help.
Yeah, it would definitely help.
All right. Well, we're going to get to some more games in just a second, but for right now, let's go out to Concussion Protocol, the trailer of this week's with Rome.
Some places, they settle beef with arguments. Some places, they settle beef by fighting. Here at Kennesaw State, they settle beef with milk.
As college students across the United States focus on their sex lives and slugging beers, the folks over at Kennesaw State are focused on a different kind of fun. Good, clean fun.
Make sure to go check out the full edition of Concussion Protocol with Roan live on YouTube right now. But let's get back into the Sling Weekend Preview Part 2. We're going to go into another big matchup of the week. Dan, you mentioned it earlier. Number 1, Alabama at number 4. Well, they're in Atlanta, but versus number 14, Miami. Alabama right now favored by 19. The total set at 61.5. Alabama at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, they're 5-0. This is one of those games that you look at and on paper, you're like, well, yeah, it should be all Alabama, but Derek King, he came back, took advantage of the COVID eligibility, and is back again for Miami.
So my pick for this game was the under, but wait, is it the under in the competition you're making?
I don't think we have that one.
Okay,
They took that one off.
because I'm a rider.
I didn't make
I
the
am
over.
now on the over, and I have no real opinion other than I think Alabama
Riders
will
ride.
kill them.
Riders ride.
Riders ride, but 19 is a lot of points that you can be up 24 all game and lose a 19-point spread. So I'm taking the over because I am a rider,
Okay.
and I would like to say this is going to air after Pick'em. So I'd like to say congratulations to my guy Rico Bosco on his new contract.
I may make that contract an NFT.
Ooh,
It's like on
I
a
like
piece
it.
of the back of a
Oh,
piece of
yeah.
paper, right?
Yeah. Yep.
all
Is
because
he-
we used our timeouts wisely.
The auto renew is no longer guaranteed.
Okay, I haven't said time
Yeah, you
No, I
did.
didn't know.
You said timeout.
Okay, timeout again then. I still have one left.
How many timeouts do you have?
I've taken the long one. That was a 20-second. I'm taking a full minute.
Okay.
Timeout. Full minute. Full minute.
that this airs?
Granted a lot of timeouts.
Will Rico be calmed down by the time this
No.
airs?
No,
No.
I walked past him on the way to filming this, and he was still here. And I'm like, oh, burning that midnight oil. He did not like that.
He was very sad-faced after the show.
Got a
though.
brand new
Well, he
contract.
thought that
Why
he
was
got
he
a
so
bad
angry?
deal, but we got a good deal. We got our guy a good
Great
deal.
He-
We got a
he's
guy-
lucky we're not. Whatever. You'll
Still
have
just doing 3 days a week that he
Well,
might
you
do?
know, people have already seen it. So don't put out anything of this. But yeah, he was getting paid more
He
than
was stealing.
You guys didn't know how much he was making, right?
No.
We did 50 minutes of Pick'em. We did 50 minutes of Pick'em. Go watch it if you haven't watched it. We did 50 minutes of Pick'em negotiating a contract. I finally got Dave to budge a little bit and bump it up. And Rico then turned around and he said, actually, that's a pay cut because you're paying me more than what you
We
think.
thought he meant taxes, but he was just getting paid more than he should
What?
have been for the
50
entire
minutes into the show.
Yeah.
Like we
How
were,
does that happen?
because this is a very
Because our
confusing
company's
thing and a very stupid thing. Yes, yes. Okay, so Dave offered Rico $80, right?
Yeah.
He offered him $80. I finally got Dave to go to $100. Dave went to $100. Rico then turned around and he said, well, actually, you've been paying me $120. So this is a pay
He had a
cut.
bank error in his favor that he purposely never
Yes.
told us about, and he kept the money, and then he tried to. So you'll watch it.
Wild.
Brandon, you don't think Alabama's going to make the playoff this year.
No, I don't, and I hate it. But I hate everything about betting this game because then to bet against Alabama here, I have to believe in Miami, which I'm not sure I do. They have a great quarterback and they have some great transfers. It is time for them to win a little something, be a little good if this guy's going to be it. I'm just betting against Alabama here. I'm betting Miami plus 19 because every single year they are able to put pieces in place with their other pieces. This year, offensively, they're starting over completely. New quarterback, they're replacing the best quarterback in the country, one of them. They're replacing the best running back in the country, the best offensive line in the country, and the best receivers in the country. All four. Usually they don't have to replace that much. I don't think they'll be up to speed and they'll score that many points in week one. They'll win the game. They won't cover 19 points.
Mac Jones now the
Well,
the Patriots.
Brandon's right. The best quarterback in the country. They lost last year, and now he's our starter. And shout out to Bill Belichick, who led from the front. A lot of teams, and I'm not going to name names, but you could have a middling, average guy who hasn't been successful in various places. Red hair, Cincinnati, Dallas, and you draft the future, you leave them both, create a rift in the locker room, or you just cut it out, be like, we're getting rid of one guy, this is our future, we're going to roll with it, I have big balls and make that decision. So
I don't know what you're talking about right now, but if you showed me that team, I'd say that coach should be fired.
Which one?
The one you just
That
explained.
picked the redhead? The one that picked the redhead.
But the redhead is a nice guy in this hypothetical scenario, so it's not his fault that he was sold a bill of lies by a couple of morons.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have to deal with that, so I'm very happy with that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I have
It's a hypothetical.
I have decided this year, and I haven't followed this, that I'm going to make a math decision. And I am just going to bet on Alabama every single week, and I know I'm going to be positive. Period. So
That's fair.
I'm going to take Alabama minus 19. I'm not going to worry if they struggle, because in the end, I will make more money betting on them than against them. In fact, if we had a research crew to go look at Alabama versus the spread the last decade, there's no chance they haven't been above 500 every single year.
I guarantee you by the end of this show, Katie Stats will have that.
Imagine.
Oh, you have it.
They're 9-2 against the spread week one, the last 11.
Imagine.
That wasn't anything that close to what I just asked for, but
It's
all the way through.
I love
all the way
the
through.
idea.
I'm saying their season record versus the spread the last. I'm going to bet them every week.
No, I understand.
You're just
you're
giving
not.
me a different
You're not going to get. I just had a stat on hand that was in your favor. I was doing you a solid. I felt like.
Yeah, but he went for the whole season. It's a 12-week commitment. You
I
only
understand.
singled out
That's
one
an
week.
awesome football. Where'd we get that from? Civil War. You're not even allowed to say that anymore.
No.
We have Phil Fulmer on the wall.
I
We always
think
have him on
that.
the wall?
No, that's new.
There's a bunch of stuff that's new.
I think. Oh, that's an insult poster, Dave.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, that's-
right above your head too.
No, it isn't.
Oh, it's real.
You can't insult me anymore.
Yeah, it says go blow
Dave.
on top of it.
Oh, I love that Nebraska. That's
And when one comes our way, go against. I can't see what he's saying.
Dave, imagine. I love your strategy, but like knowing us,
This'll
if
be
you
good.
brought
Oh,
down like
yeah.
Saban era Alabama, they had their worst year ever.
Well, I'm taking a minus 19. I'm also taking the over 61.5. This is at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, I'm banned from there still.
You still can't go
really?
in there?
10-year ban.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think, Brandon, you're too low on Alabama. I know they have to reload a lot, but it is
All
Nick
I'm
Saban.
saying is they're
But
not going to make
it's
the
Nick Saban.
playoff.
Well,
I'm not saying they're going
How
to fall
brilliant
apart.
is Saban just being like, our quarterback's made like $18 billion already on NIL.
Yeah,
and Bryce Young.
So
I mean,
smart.
people seem to like Bryce Young. I
he's
don't.
never thrown a meaningful snap. He's never,
Mac Jones hadn't either.
Mac Jones was
Jones
the
started
best
4
quarterback in the
games
country
last
last
year.
year.
but here's the thing. I don't think it matters
Probably
in
not.
that
Fuck.
Yeah, probably not.
you're playing behind probably one of the top 5 offensive lines. Like they just
They got to reload. but
fucking
yeah.
put it in there.
Yeah.
So it's like it will all work out.
Here's the thing with Miami. I liked Derek King, but he did tear his ACL in the Cheez-It Bowl last year. Has not played, so obviously playing against Alabama in his first live action is going to stink. I think Alabama's going to win, but I do think 19 points is
I hope to God that our guy Rico Bosco knows that fact, that Derek King is like still has a torn ACL. Let's just say that. I hope.
Yeah, no, he
I
hasn't
hope
played
he knows.
He hasn't
I
played
certainly-
live
I
action
hope
at
he
all.
put that
If he
into-
doesn't know that.
I
How would
hope
he
he
not
put
know
that
that?
into his handicapping.
He did a lot of research. So
I hope he put
that's
that
why
into his
he gave him that
handicapping.
extension.
He hasn't-
That makes me nervous. A guy with a torn ACL going against Alabama, and you take the over, makes me very nervous.
Yeah, has not played another team other than his own since then. So
Okay. Well,
All right.
my guy Rico knew it because I'm a rider.
I'm going to take the points, but I do think Alabama is going to win the game. Let's go. I'd argue the biggest game of the weekend, the last
Yes.
game, number 5 Georgia. against number 3 Clemson in Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium. Clemson right now favored by 3. The total set at 51. Dave, I will start with you. I know in like 2018 you said you think Clemson's going to get hit with a lot of sanctions at some point. You still think that?
I forget what I said.
You gave it a 10-year window.
But
they've changed everything.
Yeah,
the NCAA is like
I was
been
going to say,
debunked.
like, you don't.
It's true.
I can't.
There's boosters can do whatever they want.
Yeah,
now.
so that's a little bit unfair because they're like the NCAA is dead. So no, I don't. I don't think they're going to hit because the NCAA is dead. This game, I have no clue. I have no clue. Not one iota. I'm going to take Georgia.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Based
I'm
on
the same
losing
way.
Trevor Lawrence.
I literally have
Yeah,
no
this
idea.
game is
No,
very hard.
the googly, I'm sure is great.
Uyunglele.
But these are two very good fucking teams that are very good every single year. Clemson did lose, obviously quarterbacks. They're powerhouses. I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. There, I said it.
So what you just said is why I'm taking Clemson. They're powerhouses. Anytime Georgia has to play another team of their caliber in terms of recruits and Jimmys and Joes,
That's the only team I think about is Alabama.
I disagree to a
Kirby
point.
can't win the big games.
I disagree to a point. When they play them in the postseason, they can't get it done.
they lost to Alabama last year. They got killed by them.
Last year, yes, but they've beaten Auburn in the regular season. They've beaten Florida in the regular
I don't
season.
count
when they were
Auburn.
going
I'm
good.
saying like
Like
teams
Clemson, yeah.
All right.
But
Ohio State, Clemson.
But they win.
I will say I think they have some sort of Alabama hiccup because they've outplayed them and should have beaten them.
Nice.
And I think they see those. I don't think they'll feel like Clemson week 1. They should have beaten Alabama multiple
I
times
had
for
them in
the
that
SEC.
game.
But they choke up. It's not because
The big thing to me is I just don't trust Kirby Smart in a big game and the offensive side of the ball. They just haven't shown that they can be inventive in any way.
Yes.
And Brent Venables is probably the best defensive coordinator in college football. They got a bunch of dudes on that side of the ball. I don't know. I actually think the under might be the good play here.
Here's why.
Go ahead.
Here's why it's different. He's never had a quarterback. Jake Fromm, he had as a freshman.
I don't think JT Daniels is that great.
He's pretty damn good. His last
He's
4 games,
good.
he was really good. Their receivers.
Against who?
They don't have George.
Give me the teams
It was
they
South
played
Carolina,
last 4
Missouri.
games.
It was South Carolina, Missouri, Mississippi State, Cincinnati.
how do you know?
Doesn't count.
Because he's a savant.
Because I'm Brandon
Doesn't
fucking
count.
Walker, Dave.
How do you know
But that doesn't. Come on.
Was that the act, or are you doing a Frank the Tank thing?
No, Brandon fucking Walker.
Clemson's defense is not those.
Watch the
Is
show.
anyone checking that?
I think
that
that's
seemed like
checking.
I
That's
know
absolutely
Cincinnati's
right.
right. 'cause
Clemson,
they
South
won
Carolina,
Cincinnati
Mississippi
is
State.
right, yes.
good to know
Cincinnati.
the last 4 games off the top of your head.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway,
It's because he thinks Georgia's going to make the playoff.
here's why I do. I think both these teams are making the playoff. I think no matter who wins this game, both
Is
teams
this
are
your
making
pet
the playoff.
project this year?
Kinda, a little bit.
Last year,
Georgia-
you apologized to me?
I had Notre Dame make the playoff.
Yeah, no, you had Notre Dame to win the national title. And I told
Yes,
you
you did.
that offense is the only
Boy,
thing that matters in the NCAA
and I think
now.
the defense fights back this year.
Oh,
We'll talk about that
okay,
later. But
okay.
the over is the play here because these two quarterbacks are very, very good. DJ's going to be great. JT Daniels is going to be great. I know we're used to defense with these two teams, but the weapons are there. The quarterbacks are there. This will be, 28-24.
I'm
gets
nervous.
this over.
I'm nervous about Clemson's offensive line against Georgia's defense, and I'm nervous about Georgia in general.
But
against
I mean,
Clemson.
Georgia has a ton of turnover on defense. I mean, they're like returning like
They're
one
a
of the worst-
reload team, though.
Yeah, they are a reload team for sure.
Especially
I mean,
in
obviously,
defense.
yes, but they do. But I mean, we saw what DJ Uiagalelei could do last year. He played twice. He had almost 500 yards against Notre
5
Dame.
touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
He's also
9
lost
yards.
some weight. I think he's got a little
Yeah,
faster.
Justin Ross is back, so I'm going to take Clemson. I think that Clemson is safe pick, but this is one of those games that could go either way, and nothing would shock me whatsoever. Ev, you have a take on this game?
I like Georgia. I like Georgia with it's a coin flip game. I'll take the points. Clemson, the only set I had was Clemson's 12-6 against the spread their last 18 games against ranked opponents, so they've done well in these spots, especially against the spread, but I'm a JT Daniels believer. I like Georgia.
It's going to be a fun game, 7:30 on
I
Saturday
like
night.
JT Daniels. I just need, Georgia has to, it's not even having the quarterback, it's like throwing it deep and stretching the
Smart.
field out
Yes.
and not just playing this very vanilla style of offense that a team of their caliber of recruits should not be playing anymore. That's really what it is.
Like, you just don't believe in Kirby Smart. Oh,
Got it
I don't
wrong,
get it
didn't
wrong.
you, Brandon?
No.
No, you got it right.
Why'd you think that
Mississippi,
score-
South
why'd you-
Carolina.
I have it up right here.
Reason I made that face?
Oh, you didn't say Vanderbilt.
They were canceled.
Yeah, but you didn't say it. You should have said it.
But they were canceled.
Yeah, but you should have said it.
That's why I went.
Yeah, but
I
you
saw
should've said
Vanderbilt at the bottom, but they were canceled. That's their last 4
That's
games.
impressive.
Let me see what they did.
I'm a fair. If anything, I'm fair.
Last 4 games.
There you
31
go.
against Mississippi State, 45 against 49, and 24.
I mean, that's
Good,
not, yeah,
good.
okay.
He knows his trivia. And speaking of, let's go to high noon trivia. The high
Segway
noon
City there.
High Noon Hard Seltzer is made with real vodka, real juice, and sparkling water. Only 100 calories, gluten-free, and no added sugar. The perfect drink for game day. Real vodka, real juice for real fans, just like us. Brandon, trivia this year.
All right, here's what you
go.
do. You submit your answer on Twitter with hashtag High Noon Trivia. First one to get it right wins Nooners merch. Winner announced next week's show. This question is all about the Mountain West and the MAC. Two exciting
Ooh, I
conferences.
like that. That's going to be a premier bowl game.
Yes. Yes, New Year's Eve, Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl.
It's a beautiful poster.
The all-time leading passer in Mountain West history graduated after the 2018 season, and the all-time leading passer in the MAC graduated after the 2009 season. Who are the all-time leading passers in the MAC and the Mountain West?
This is a big moment because it's the first show of the year.
Yes.
It's week 1. I know we had a thing last year.
I only brought one question. I forgot to bring back up questions.
They like
When
to
did
ruin it last year.
Roethlisberger's
Are we
going to be
gonna?
before 09, right?
So
Is it like
Jordan
a
Lynch?
Central Michigan quarterback?
I would love if you guys didn't spoil this because I only brought one, and I would have to just.
Is Jordan Lynch the answer?
Jordan Lynch is not the answer.
Was it?
I mean,
He
you
should
knew
have
they
won
were
the
gonna do
Heisman.
this.
What did you say? 2008, 2009?
I said the MAC after the 2009 season, the Mountain West much more recent 2018 season. He played from 2015.
What was the Central Michigan quarterback? It was like Lefevre.
Lefevre, yeah. Dan Lefevre.
All right, if we could not spoil the other half of the question, that would be fantastic.
There you go,
I
Ev.
mean,
All right, let's move
Yeah.
on.
Love it.
Yeah.
2018 Mountain West?
This
New
one's
year.
the tougher part.
I'm so bad at these.
And New Year,
All right.
same shit. So hashtag High Noon Trivia.
Josh Allen?
No,
Oh, wait, no, he was 2009.
28.
not him at all.
Nothing has changed.
Let's just move
Nothing
on.
has changed.
Wait, was it?
It's not. It's not Josh Allen.
By the way, Brandon, it's a nice hoodie you have on.
Thank you very much. Just, it doesn't take much to be a nice human.
It says
Jordan
nice
Love?
human on the back.
Be a nice
Yes.
human.
Oh.
Is Jordan Love?
It's not Jordan Love.
Let's move on to the FTX Locks of the Week. Visit the App Store and download FTX for free today to buy and sell top tokens with absolutely zero fees. And this year, guys, we have a lot on the Locks of the Week. We have a crypto competition. The person on this show won. Hey, Brandon,
Okay.
You got it?
I'm not going to say it. He showed
don't
it
say
to me,
it.
so I'm not going to say it.
That's big. This year, one of the 5 of us will win $50,000 in crypto. Whoever has the best record at the end of the season
Love
of
it.
the Locks.
Fantastic.
Can we lock this in now? Can we buy the crypto now? So by the end of the season, I'd be in. It could go up. We could win
Oh, yeah.
70,000 in crypto.
That's
If they're
a good point.
spending it,
Yeah,
why
that
don't
would
they do it
actually
now?
be smart because then
Yes.
it also
Yeah.
shows what happens to
Correct.
crypto.
Yes.
Who's doing that? Is buy that
FTX.
crypto now.
Yeah.
Would stand
Brandon?
that.
Lock
it
in the price
Shut
now.
up. No, I'm.
Would you
Would I what? Would I donate?
would you
my
like to donate it to charity?
No, if I win, I would. Some.
I'm thinking about donating it all to charity if anyone wants to match.
Well, let's go through the Locks. I mean, yeah, had this been
Anyone? No. Okay, fine. We won't.
no,
We won't.
this
We
is the
won't.
first year we have a prize.
Yeah, I know. I just like doing
No,
this
no.
to Brandon because it gets
No,
him
I know what
nervous.
I'm going to do.
What are you gonna do?
If I win my 50, whatever it ends up, if we lock it in now, I will place a bet of that amount.
Oh.
And if I win it, I'll give the winnings to charity.
Okay.
And if I lose it, I lose it.
I will do the same, and if I win, I will then bet it again, and if I win that, I will give that to Rico.
Oh.
So Rico
The winnings,
gets fucking
not
money.
the-
Wait,
Why
but the
does-
charity's
Oh, does
in, no
Rico
matter
get
what.
no
Rico's-
charity for me.
Why does-
50.
Well, Rico.
50, yeah, that's charity. So 50K.
He was making more money
I'll take the
than he thought he was.
50K. I'm gonna bet it. If I win that and I got 100, then I'll bet another 50, and if that wins,
Okay.
Rico gets 50.
Or if we had some way for the sales geniuses in the front office here to be like, somebody can bet with me and watch the game, and or just charity, whatever. I'm gonna make a bet with it if I win, and I'm gonna give away whatever I win in some fashion.
Okay, Brandon.
I am too.
I'm gonna keep
because
that.
I'm gonna give it to
I'm
Rico.
gonna keep that
I'm gonna
shit
keep
too.
that shit and I'm
I'm
gonna let
alive.
it grow and.
But we
kids
gotta
say-
lock it in
Yeah,
now.
okay, let's
Yeah,
lock
we
it in
gotta
now.
lock it in
FTX, lock it in now. So these are the standings from last year. So had we been doing this last year, Big Ev would have won.
Big Ev, what
the
charity would
50K.
you do?
Nice.
Yeah.
So, charity might get envelope. Little envelope.
Oh, okay, nice.
And if FTX, I have it. I'll tell you what crypto's at this second.
And Ev, you said that
it's just crypto in general?
No, it says
Bitcoin?
crypto.
It says in crypto, $50,000.
I think they put it into our account and then we can buy it, but we should just buy Bitcoin now.
Now.
All right.
Okay. Ev, so you said that you told me before the show that you've been kind of getting screwed over in these things.
Well, yeah, I mean, this would have been really nice if they sponsored us last year. We won the show.
Just win it again.
And then Pink Central also now in our
What charity would you have given it to last year?
probably I'm a St. Jude guy.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
I would have
Nice.
matched that
for the
last
kids.
year.
That's beautiful.
Bitcoin is
I
at
would've matched that.
48,411. It's actually up right now, so hopefully it goes down by the time they buy it.
Maybe throw in some Safe Moon too.
No, I don't think we want to touch that.
You know what? I would have doubled yours last year in Match Day.
Sound-
But
You're such a
have St. Jude's
terrible
great
fucking
cause.
guy.
Yeah, I mean,
We
just-
didn't
yeah.
have fucking. We didn't
charitable.
win any money last year, but if we had, I
Yes.
would have doubled it
Yes.
in Match.
If you had, yes.
Sick kids, it's a
We
great
weren't able
cause.
to.
Okay, so then let's go to this year's locks of the week. We're going to start. We have a rule this year because last year and the year before we could have as many
Only
locks
one.
as we want.
Well,
Only
last year
one.
we did just one.
Yeah.
You
I know,
did 10
did.
one week.
Yeah,
No, that was 2 years
No,
ago.
we ended up with 15 picks.
It was
last
two,
year we
Okay.
did
no,
one.
2
Okay.
years ago. Then last year we enabled the one because of that.
Yes, so only one per week. Dave, we'll start with you. You went 7-6-1 last year, so
Yeah, and I also had the best overall record
you
of the
did
show.
have the best overall.
Everybody had a
records.
winning record on Locks.
I was
is
56,
true.
45, and 3. Pretty fucking good. I had them last week. They were my mortal. Were they? Yeah, they were my mortal lock last week. They were.
UCLA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm doing them 2 weeks in a row. I actually think they were pretty good towards the end of the season last year. I think Chips sort of got going.
Weiser.
I'm not sold totally. LSU was bad last year. They got a little bit better towards the end. They were bad, and nobody's happy, but they're dealing with a lot of issues, obviously, with Ida and hurricane and displacement. Yeah, it could rally them, and that is what Coach O is good. But I think UCLA is sitting there waiting for them to make a statement. I like them plus the points.
And they've already played a game.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
Obviously.
I know your lock is the points. You think they're going to win the game?
I do.
I do too.
I mean, I gotta be honest, you'd be an absolute moron to make it your mortal lock and say they're not gonna win the game.
Correct.
With 3 points. You'd have to
Fair
really be
enough.
Yeah.
pretty exact.
Fair enough.
Dan, you were 8-6 last year.
Okay,
Where are we going?
I'm going to take BYU minus 12.5. I know Zach Wilson just left, but I think Arizona will be one of the worst Power 5
Terrible.
teams in the country. And BYU is one of those teams like, yeah, Zach Wilson left. They still got like, I don't know, 50, 28-year-olds on their team.
Yeah, a bunch of guys with 2 kids. Right.
Right. So, give me that. They'll just hammer them. Arizona. That's when you got guys that are stronger, bigger, and can just kind of lay the hammer down on you. You're gonna quit.
Arizona also has one of the coolest quarterback names in the country, though. Gunnar Cruz. We've talked about that on the
wow.
Necessary Roughness. Like,
Oh,
that's
wow.
a strong name.
Gunnar Cruz.
Oh, wow.
They got a 2 quarterback system too.
Gunner.
The coach of Arizona also
your guy, right?
tweeted like,
Yeah.
love that Barstool's involved in the Arizona Bowl. This
He's
is
a
gonna be
Michigan
great
guy,
for
right?
recruiting. He's a Patriot guy.
Jed Fish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't he at Michigan too?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he was.
He might have
He
been.
came from Michigan.
Someone's
I
out there.
don't
We
know.
know that. All right,
Yeah,
Brandon,
sorry.
you went 8-7 last year.
I did, and this year I'm going to start with a program that needs to bounce back. Chris Kleiman 2 years ago was fantastic at Kansas State. They took a step back last year. Still beat Oklahoma, but Stanford, I think David Shaw's pretty close to the end of the road there. Nobody talks about them, but they haven't been very good lately. Kansas State hosting this. It's a neutral site. I think it's in Dallas.
It is,
They're
yes.
hosting it. But they're going to have the biggest crowd there. Kansas State minus 2.5 against Stanford. I think they're going to kill them.
All right, Big Ev, you would have won last year, 12-3. Who are you starting with in week 1?
All right, I'm going with Liberty. I feel like they're the team
Whoa.
that they
Hugh Freeze.
brought
your
back,
guy.
bringing back a ton last year. And they were one of those great non-Power 5 teams last year that I don't think is getting as much buzz going into the season. They're
Please,
lame.
we just not have a camera on him?
It's
also-
just not cut yet.
They
Got
also
it.
beat
It's just
Coastal
not-
in
yeah,
the
it's
bowl
just
game.
not cut.
They did. No, I just think they're not getting the same buzz that like the Coastals and like the Cincinnatis are going into the year. They're the same. They bring back like 19, 20 stars. They're laying 22.5 against Campbell. Campbell's one of the worst run defenses in all of college football last year. Malik Willis is one of the best
Campbell's.
quarterbacks in college football. Give me Liberty minus 22.5.
All right, and I'm going
I
to
like that
go
pick.
with one that we've already talked about, the under in Penn State, Wisconsin. When I saw 50.5, I was shocked. I do not understand who picked that. I think it's crazy. I think it's definitely going to hit the under.
Good pick, too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that line.
Unless
So-
unless Graham Mertz becomes.
I say it's a good pick. It's not. I go leading off with an under.
No, good pick.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
Both of
don't
those. I
like
like
to
those
take
two.
unders, but I mean,
Who does?
that one seems pretty easy for me. All right, we're gonna do a new segment this year. This is another Brandon Walker segment with Nick Turani. And
More of a
they
Nick Turani segment. but
Okay, well, it's a Nick Turani segment with Brandon Walker, featuring Brandon Walker, and they sit down to discuss some of Week 1's most exciting matchups.
Thank you, blonde gambling lady. It's time for me and Nick to take a look at some lesser matchups, some matchups with maybe not as much prestige, but we love them just the same. Isn't that right, Nick?
Yeah.
That's it, yeah? Let's get started, Nick.
Oklahoma's taking the field against the Green Wave today without star defensive lineman Isaiah Thomas, who's suspended due to a DUI, missing out on his second chance to lose to a Tulane.
Down in Fayetteville, Arkansas will host Rice, where the people of Arkansas will go up against their biggest enemy to date, complex carbs.
We have the Minutemen versus the Panthers today. Pitt is looking to beat a mass for the first time since James Conner was on the team.
In Iowa City, Iowa looks to stop Indiana star receiver Ty Freifogel, whose last name is coincidentally the recommended sentence for Indiana's most famous alum.
Moving on to San Jose State versus USC. San Jose is going to need some magic if they want to beat the Trojans today, which is unfortunate because Magic has a history of ignoring Trojans.
We have an early season Sun Belt clash between Central Arkansas and Arkansas State, making this the biggest battle involving a Sun Belt since Adrian Peterson's son's last birthday party.
Switching over to Holy Cross versus UConn. When asked, UConn head coach Randy Edsall says that they're looking to cause problems for Holy Cross, marking just another time the Catholic Church has had issues with a Randy leader.
Kent State will have trouble getting penetration against Texas A&M All-American offensive lineman Kenyon Green, which is unfortunate for the Golden Flashes because they have a poor track record against National Guards.
Moving on, we have UTSA versus Illinois. When asked about the Illini's plan to beat the Roadrunners, head coach Brett Bielema said that they're going to paint a fake tunnel on a wall.
Lastly, we have Marshall against Navy, a heated matchup between a team with a history of taking down planes and Marshall. All right, we're done. Back to you guys.
That's going to make some people mad.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're jokes.
they are I mean, it's
Dark
the
humor.
Nick
That
Turani
always
style.
plays. If you just say it's a joke, people are
I
down
mean, it
with
was a joke. They delivered it as jokes.
Yes.
They were very funny.
That always plays.
Brandon, when you did that segment, how much of it do you think you wrote? What's the
I
percentage?
know how much I wrote. How much do you think I wrote?
5%.
Percentage-wise, let's go.
5%.
You think I wrote 5%?
I think Nick wrote 95% of it.
What about you? 0? I wrote one joke and it got cut.
What was it?
I wrote a joke about liberty, and it wasn't good. We cut it.
Well,
Okay.
hopefully you
Well, I
can
like
keep-
it.
No, your delivery was great, though.
My delivery was
Nick's-
fantastic.
I like
jokes
the
delivered.
I like the segment. We'll
Yeah.
see how quickly people get really pissed off about it, but I like the segment.
You think Nick might get canceled?
No.
Could Brandon get canceled?
They're fucking jokes.
I mean,
Well,
he
yeah, Nick
clearly
can't
gave
get
me
canceled, but I mean-
tragedies.
he clearly gave me the ones
Terrible,
that were,
terrible
that were
tragedies.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. All right, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's go to the FTX top 10s. Now, not only is FTX going to potentially give one of us money this year, they're going to give some students some cryptos.
Okay, so
as
they're ahead
well.
of it. That's what I was suggesting before, so this is great.
Yeah, so FTX student crypto giveaway. In addition to our top 10s, we are creating a top 10 leaderboard of students signing up for verified FTX accounts and giving away a massive prize pool of crypto to the leaders, including a $100,000 prize split among the signups for the #1 school. All you have to do is sign up for FTX using your .edu email address, and they will get your school higher on the board. So it's a season-long competition for crypto.
I don't
Pretty
know
cool.
who our salesperson is for that, but that's pretty creative. Good job to them.
Yeah.
Or if FTX
Shout
came
out.
up with it, good for them.
Shout out them. And so if you're listening to this, go use your and watching this .edu email address.
Unless
get
it was
some-
Sage, because he killed Glenny Ball's wear.
Well, he shouldn't be
Wait, he
allowed.
did?
Well,
Did he
he
What
wore
happened?
it.
He wore the whole thing after. Well, I guess it's not after Labor Day, but it's close enough.
He
Oh, you're not supposed to.
ruined a hotel in Miami by showing up there, knowing I stayed there, and I saw him floating in the pool and puked, and then I was like, I can't ever come back here. And then I saw him wearing the full Balls Beach wear, and I puked again.
So if he did this, would you puke for a third time?
I
No,
give
you
credit-
pat him on the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I patted him on- listen, I give him credit.
MB, who did this?
Oh, this
Okay,
is
so
MB. This is
Sage and MB, but MB's got the
MB
brains.
is
This is MB's
so
idea.
glad that I did that because that's exactly how I expected to work. And Sage is stuffing shrimp down his face, taking credit for this idea when it was definitely
MB's got the
MB.
brains behind
Yeah,
all
MB.
of
So
our
MB
good
job,
came up with this.
MB.
Good job, MB. Congratulations. You saved Sage's job, I think. All right, let's go to top 10s. I'm going to start this year, and I mean, because I want to ramp up. I'm going to start with my top 10. And it's going to be no surprise here. I'm going to go. I'm going full on Texas A&M this year. Usually I'm down on them. I think that they're going to be in the playoff this year. Number 1, Texas A&M, until they lose. And then, Dan, I have to tell you, I have fully decided that if I could go to any other school other than A&M, it would be Wisconsin.
Okay.
So I'm keeping them at number 10, and then the rest is pretty self-explanatory. Ev, I'm sorry, I do think Ohio State isn't going to miss the playoff, which would be a disappointing season for them. I think it's going to end up with 2 SEC West schools in the playoff. So this is my top 10.
That's ridiculous.
That's tough.
How is that ridiculous?
I mean, that's tough to do.
No, it's not. Here it is. Because A&M and Alabama play.
Gotta beat Alabama.
The loser of that game
Yes.
gets in because the winner of that game wins the SEC championship. It'd be like Ohio State in 2016.
It will be very tough.
So one
it's
loss,
tough
Alabama
for
or
a team
A&M.
You need Ohio State to lose
There's a
twice.
lot of competition, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just
I
saying in this
You need
scenario.
Oregon and Ohio State to
I
suck.
don't really think Oregon.
No, if Oregon runs the table
Well,
or
right.
has 1 loss and wins the Pac-12, they would be in over.
I would have
Several
no problem punishing the Pac-12
Yes.
just for the behavior last year.
And the alliance, this whole.
Alliance with them.
No, yeah, but the alliance is
It's a
bullshit.
secret alliance.
Fucking
A
alliance.
gentleman's agreement. Big Ev, we'll start with you on the other side of this.
Well, yeah, I feel like everyone's top 5 is going to be pretty similar. The one really, I'm just very, very high in Wisconsin. I think there's a real.
God.
I'm being serious. I swear.
This is terrible.
Brandon can attest. I've said
They're
I've
going to
picked
lose
Central.
on Saturday. They're going to lose on
I
Saturday.
really believe that there's a
God
chance
damn
that an undefeated Wisconsin, undefeated
Damn
Ohio
it,
State
damn
meet
it,
in the
damn
Big
it.
Ten championship.
No
I really believe
chance.
that. I genuinely believe that. They should be favored in every game. I really believe they can run the table in the regular season, so I'm high in Wisconsin. That's why I have them at 7.
Is that not?
What are we talking about? We keep saying Wisconsin has every game at home. Aren't they playing Notre Dame in Chicago?
Yeah,
They have that one
it's,
neutral site
it's
where
a
they play
neutral site.
every other game at home.
Yeah,
Every other big
it's-
game.
I'm not high in Notre Dame this year. They're out of my top 10. I'm not crazy about
I don't think Notre Dame has shown up in either top
No,
10.
and Brandon, you're not very high on Notre Dame this year.
They're in my top 10.
Did they
They're
make?
gonna lose 3
Did they
times.
make your top 10?
They did not.
Okay, what's
They
Brandon?
did not, because I had to make room for.
Well, actually, you know what? We're gonna save yours.
Wow.
I'm gonna interrupt you.
Son of a bitch.
Dan?
All right, I'm going to go. So this is the last time you will see a traditional top 10 from me this year because I'm going to do something new after this. I didn't have
okay.
the data points
A&M
to
at 2.
do it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, you like
love that. I
A&M
like
at
that a
2.
lot.
I didn't have the data points to do it, but from here on forward, my top 10 is going to be solely against the spread. I'm going to be giving. I am, because I realize that, like,
That's all
I
you
don't
care
really
about.
care
Yes.
about, like, who's, like, number 8, right?
Right.
So going on
Very
forward,
important.
It is.
I'm going to start doing it. It's going to
I
be
like
against
that.
the spread. It's going to be, obviously week 1, it's going to be who beat the spread the most. But that is we all have top 10, so it's a little
So-
redundant. So that will be my top 10 going forward, will be only against the spread.
I like
So,
that.
so this will just be a wash next week.
This will be a wash next week.
Okay.
I had to put it up there because we had to put it up there. I didn't want to
thought.
be like,
Yeah.
it was only 5 teams that won last week.
I like,
I like
the
it.
spin zone. I do too.
like it.
Dave, what's your top 10?
I mean, I could care less about the top 10, so that's why I like with Dan at this point of the season.
Oh, Notre Dame at 4.
Yeah, I had to get it in. I don't really care. Northwestern, I do think is going to be good this year.
Auburn?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Bo Nix.
I'm just happy that A&M's on everybody's. I'll be
Listen,
honest.
I actually think A&M is being way too talked about.
Why?
Because I don't like when teams almost becomes too obvious. I don't like when that happens.
Okay.
But it should show. I don't know how long I've had Michigan number 1 to start the season, but it's been almost every year for 2 decades. Again, I'm not saying I'm not going to be excited like going to Ann Arbor for the Washington game and things like that, but
expectations are low.
I haven't had less expectations for them. They've kind of defeated me.
So you're just like apathetic. It's not even.
No,
like
no,
that,
I'm
like,
rooting for them, but it's like
That's kind of why I think they're going to be okay.
I don't know.
Like,
They're-
I'm with you.
They're
Like, they're
so fucking bad.
I don't know. Something about this
I want
Michigan year.
tuition reimbursement from 20 years. It's like, well, I went to a school and I'm supposed to be able to root for the football team.
No, it definitely
Fair.
hurts credibility everywhere.
I will
If
say.
your football team is bad.
Yeah,
it
and
hurts
normally you're
credibility.
wearing Michigan colors week 1, and you're just.
I said it there.
not,
I said I won't do that. Usually I'd be like, hey, can I get sideline passes? Nope, because they'd be like, aren't you the guy that says we're dead? Yup. So what are you gonna do?
Okay. All
You
right.
just need Juwan Howard to stay forever because they are a basketball.
Yeah,
school.
they're basketball.
Very good,
schools.
very good
They're gonna
basketball.
win
school.
national
national
championships
title.
with
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Okay, Brandon, we're gonna finish with you here.
All right, so I just changed my number 1 because I've never believed in this team at all. And this year I think they have the fewest holes. And I think they're going to win the national championship. So I have Oklahoma at number 1. I moved Alabama down to make room. Why did you do that? That's
Mississippi
my top
State
10.
at number 10?
Of course, I want to see my team there. You have a legit top 10 team. Dan does too. Me and Dave don't, but I decided to put mine in there.
Oh yes! Yes! Now that was perfect.
I I could actually see Mississippi.
He was just talking about Mississippi State being in his top 10.
Boys, hell yeah, damn right.
Oh my God, I forgot about the other egg.
So for those who don't know, last year there was an egg bowl bet, and Mincy got to pelt Brandon with eggs, which was, by the way, an electric moment in and of its own.
Wait a goddamn minute.
The still shot of all of us with our jaws dropped, but Mincy got to save an egg for whenever he
Thought
wanted
we had a
to use
streaker
it.
there for a minute.
That was incredible. I forgot it because Blattman texted me when they were in Omaha.
You mean you forgot about it? He just did it on his own? You did, who put him up to this?
You always think that I have everything to do with everything.
That is correct.
No.
No,
This is
actually,
what I
always think that.
Brandon, I will tell you, Dan and Dave did not know this was happening.
I believe Dave. I could tell on
You
his
can
face.
see the shock on my face. So Blattman texted me when they were in Omaha and was like, if Mississippi State's lose, should Mincy do the last egg? I had forgotten about it then. Then that Omaha was a long time ago. That was so perfect.
I also, not to change this, I think Mississippi's at the top 10 team actually this year.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Mincy. And so the bet is in perpetuity at Barstool Sports. These two guys, Mississippi State, it is the difference in, what is it? Was it with spread or no?
It was straight up.
It was straight up. So it's the differential in the game. That's how many eggs the
So if you
winner
win
gets.
by 30, you get 30 eggs?
Yes, and you get to save one
He
egg.
gave me 6 last year on the show, and then
And then he gets,
one.
and that's the rules. You get to
it's
save
over.
one egg for a random time, and now it's over.
You got no more eggs until
Mississippi beats you guys by.
Not gonna happen.
Waiting any longer, you'd be on the guard.
Yeah. Yes, that was perfect.
Start the season.
Element of surprise.
That was absolutely
How
perfect.
fucking long you been sitting over there with an egg in your hand?
That's so perfect.
Element of surprise.
That's so perfect.
I'm waiting to hear that
Mississippi's gonna put like 40.
I wondered why you made me do my top.
That
10
makes
last.
makes sense.
Yes.
It would make sense for me to go last.
Well, no.
Now you figured it out.
And I will be honest with you, I felt very guilty that you were wearing the Be a Nice Human
I'm so
sweatshirt.
happy that I'm wearing your shirt.
I mean, I did feel very badly about that, but I mean, Mincy, he had to have his moment.
That's fine.
I forgot Mississippi. I actually think they're going to be very good this year.
Same bet this year.
Yep,
Yeah.
I know. It's in
Just fucking
perpetuity.
said it, Nance. Get the fuck out of here.
Any last thoughts, fellas?
Oh, that was a great way to end the
Yeah.
first. We're back.
We're back.
That's
We're
football.
so
And
back.
It's like, it's good to see you were riding so high with the national championship
Right.
in baseball.
Yes.
Now
So,
it's
the-
football
Sling.
just takes everything away.
Yeah,
That might as well have
it
been
takes
100
it
years
away.
ago.
Welcome back to
Good to be back.
your team
Yes.
stinks.
Yeah.
They don't. They'll be good.
And-
Oh, how good?
I don't know. 8 wins.
Okay.
Think?
And by the way, we will be in College Station for the Mississippi State A&M game, so
you
you
and I
guys start
will,
thinking
yeah.
about a bet for that.
No, no,
one as
no.
well.
God damn it. We said we weren't going to do that this year.
Well, they will do it.
Okay, loser.
No, you have
has
you have a few weeks to think about it, unless you already have one off the top of your head.
We'll be in Ann Arbor next week,
Yes,
right?
okay.
Excited
yeah, we're
for
back.
Ann Arbor,
We're gonna
back
be-
to Michigan next week, and hopefully they can. I mean, I don't think they're going to beat Washington, and Washington ain't that good. But if we do, that may start getting the
Yes.
Yeah, the
blood
blood
flowing.
flow.
But I think that you're gonna get the blood flowing when you're there, and like you're gonna get all the Dave Prez go chants.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Michigan. I think I'm more pessimistic than most Michigan fans. They seem to just like they get mad at me when I hold them accountable for sucking.
Like, could you get booed next week, you think?
No.
Okay, of course not. So we will be live from Ann Arbor at 6 p.m. Washington versus Michigan, and it's in the same exact spot that we did it in
nice.
2018.
Yep.
So right by the stadium. So
Yep.
we will be there live at 6 o'clock. Come out and see us, and have a good week.
All right.
One thing to remember when you're gambling on the Barstool Sportsbook app, make sure that you gamble responsibly, know your odds, know your chances of losing.
Gamble responsibly. Nobody wants to end up in a trash can.
You can play with Penn National, which is a licensed and regulated operator. Big words. If you have a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.